it's Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we'd talk about a little bit about branding photography and how you can prepare for your branding photography session. For those of you who don't know, and this is your first video of mine you're watching, hi, hello, I'm Vanessa. I am a portrait photographer out of Orlando, Florida. And when I'm not working with amazing models and dancers and influencers and bloggers and all that stuff, doing all that amazing content, I work with small business owners and entrepreneurs, capturing their brand through branding photography. And some of you may be wondering what branding photography is. I'll briefly explain that because I have other videos fully talking about that, and I'll link them in the card and below. Branding photography is a form of photography where a photographer like myself will be capturing your business, your brand, in a way that is true to you in your style, and it's completely tailored to you. So these can be for a brand launch, a website launch, webinar, product launch, like you name it, it can be done. And branding photography is very flexible because it can work with any business, any brand, any person, or any business. Like it can work across the board for anything. So a lot of questions I get asked are like, how do I prepare for this? Like, how do I become comfortable in front of the camera? All these sorts of questions. So I'm gonna try to cover most of those in this video today so I can help all of you, and hopes that you'll have an awesome branding session that can empower you and your business. So how to prepare, which is kind of a loaded question. At this point, when you're investing in branding photography, I would hope that you would find an amazing branding photographer that you click with, that they understand your brand, they understand your vision, they understand where you want to go in your business, so then they can help you curate photos that will help you get there. So that's like step one. Before you're even booking, like you need to find that person that you click with. And if it's not me, that's cool. There's plenty of other branding photographers out there that are amazing and incredible, that will travel to you and help you. So that's the first step, is finding that photographer that clicks. And once you know that's your photographer that you want to work with, that you both understand not severity, but kind of the severity of this photo shoot. It's not just another portrait shoot, even though those are so fun and I love those, clearly from all the work that I do. This is a more intense photo shoot. These tend to go through most of the day. I have branding shoots that go from 2 hours to 4 hours, just kind of depending what that person wants. Like if they're a baker, if we have pictures of them baking, if they're setup and takedown of things, if we're changing location, if they're changing outfits, like it is a giant commitment of a day. So having you both on the same page and both understanding what you both are expecting of this is key. So open communication is a must. You need to be clear and open and honest with your photographer, because if you're not going to be happy with the product. And I am speaking from experience that I have not done this in the past with communicating with other photographers when I've wanted photos and different things of myself for my business. So I'm telling you, you need to do this. You need to be openly communicative with your photographer. And if that means that's not the right photographer, then that's fine. You're better off finding a better photographer that will suit your needs. Because not every photographer is one size fits all. We totally understand that we don't fit everyone's personality and everyone's style. So it's better in the forefront to figure that all out and be open and honest with each other so we both understand where we're at. So now that you know what's going on, you know the game plan, you know how the day is gonna run, really, your photographer should be helping you figure out the locations, helping you decide on outfits, different props, so then you are all in line by the time the week comes. So I would say like the week of, gather stuff together, make sure the venue is rented or cleaned or wherever you're going to be shooting. Have your clothes together that you're going to wear. And the day before, if you're planning on getting your hair done or makeup done, make sure that's all ready for the next day. I never say that you have to go get your hair done or you have to go get your makeup done. I always say look like you always do, because you don't necessarily go to clients with all dolled up unless that's what you do. So then, of course, go get your makeup done, your hair done, or unless you want to be a little more polished for these pictures, that's fine. Just don't feel obligated to do any of that if you really don't want to. This is to showcase you and your business and your brand, and if that's not any of those, then don't do it. The best thing I can say, as I tell all my clients for any shoot, is to get good night's sleep. That is so key, because if you don't, the next day you're just gonna look tired and ragged and you're not gonna like the photos afterwards. So then, what's the point? Also, eat before you shoot, because that's another thing. You're gonna be distracted and hungry, and I know I get very angry and cranky when I'm hungry, so I make sure to eat before any shoot and then brush my teeth really fast and make sure nothing's in my teeth or anything. That is so key to do, and a lot of people miss that. So make sure you sleep and make sure you eat. Another thing that I like to say, like the night before or the week of, I try to set everything aside of what I'm gonna wear, anything that's needed for that, just kind of set it all out in a bag or whatever, so it's set aside and able to be easily accessible when you then move and you go to the different locations and stuff like that. Another thing I have gotten asked a lot is how to be more comfortable in front of the camera. Unfortunately, this is not like, hey, this is my one trick for this. I really don't have that, unfortunately, because everyone's different. But something I try to tell myself, because I was never really that comfortable in front of the camera, I always liked being behind it. But then once I started performing more when I was really little and onward, I started to become more and more comfortable in front of the camera because it was like a performance. I was kind of putting on this persona, and then I became more comfortable to show my real personality in front of the camera. For those who didn't have that background at all, I would say practice in front of the mirror. I know that sounds silly, but practice faces, practice different poses. Your photographer should be helping you through this, FYI. If they don't, then clearly tell them during the shoot. Don't be afraid to tell them, saying, I don't know what to do, please help me. And if they don't, then that's on them. Like, they should be helping you. That is their job. And unfortunately, I have been in situations where a photographer has not helped me. Even though, yes, I'm a photographer, I should know how to pose myself, but I don't see what they see behind the camera. I can think that it's gonna look good, but in reality, it doesn't. So really, the photographer should be telling you, oh, move a little bit to the left or tilt this way and fix your hair, because they're gonna see things that you don't, and that's their job. But any smiling or different faces, like try to practice that in front of the mirror just to get yourself a little more comfortable. Your photographer really should be making you feel comfortable in front of the camera too. I always try to joke and make it really casual and comfortable. Like, I don't like to make it really super formal unless it needs to be, but that's just my personality. I like to make jokes and have fun, and that tends to get my clients' natural emotions and reactions out of them, which create amazing pictures. So really, your photographer should be doing that, and that's also something you should be checking with them at the forefront when you're kind of interviewing and going through all these different photographers to find your right one, because they should be helping you with that. So I would say try to practice in front of a mirror just to kind of see how it works and how you feel. But then come the day of, just kind of let loose and let go of any stress. Just be like, you know what? It's in their hands. I'm gonna try the best I can to look like a decent human, but at the end of the day, it's the photographer's job to be able to showcase me and showcase my business and my brand, because that's what I hired them to do. And if they can't do that, unfortunately, that does happen. But hopefully, with you doing such good diligence at the forefront to find this photographer that totally goes with your vibe and you click and you understand each other and you know where you want to go, they should understand where you want to go, and they should understand how to help you in front of the camera to really showcase you and your brand. So hopefully that helped smooth out any questions or answer any questions regarding how to prepare for your branding session. Just like any other session, I always recommend sleep, eating, and just doing anything to make yourself feel good. Like nothing too extravagant or too like, this is the way to do things. Like, no, I don't have any of those tips and tricks. It's just really simple. And the best way to get the best out of your experience is just communicating with your photographer, because they can't read your mind. Unfortunately, we can't. I don't. Along with graphic design, I apparently should have a degree in mind reading, but I don't, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's not a degree that I have or that exists. Or if there is, please tell me so I can do that. But the more you communicate with your photographer, the better, because then they can help you more. And our feelings aren't hurt when you say, you know what, this doesn't really feel comfortable to me. Can we try something else? Like, that is totally okay. Definitely give it a shot on whatever they're saying to do. Unless it's completely like out of your comfort zone, then don't. Then say like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with this. But at that point, your photographer should understand that, understand your comfort points as well. But give it a shot. But if it's still not jiving with you, like say, hey, like this isn't really working. I don't know if I'm liking this. Can we try something different? Or I'm really not comfortable sitting this way. Is there a different pose that could help? Like, be open and honest. Yes, your photographer is a professional, but we can't also read your mind if you're extremely uncomfortable. And please tell us if you are, because we will change that. We will change the situation to help you so you're not extremely uncomfortable. So yeah, I hope this video helped you prepare for your branding session. If you have any further questions, please leave them below and I will try to answer them the best that I can. And if you want to inquire for a branding session, head to the link below and we can talk more. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you head to the link in the description if you want to join the Patreon family, which supports this podcast, this channel, and the podcast. And if you don't know about the podcast, check out last week's video. It is my last podcast episode, which was really, really amazing and really, really great. So make sure you do that. And you can follow me on Facebook at Vanessa Jordan Photography. And you can follow me on Instagram at Vanessa Jordan Photo. And you can also find me at VanessaJordanPhotograph.com. And until next time, bye guys.